A knowledge of some basic principles of physics will aid us in better understanding how aircraft maintenance, repairs, and alterations affect the safety and efficiency of flight. In this first lesson in the physics portion of this course, we will discuss some of the properties and characteristics of matter. Physics is a study of matter and how it moves. It encompasses topics involving aviation maintenance as wide-ranging as work, power, energy and force, motion and acceleration, sound, aerodynamics, fluid dynamics, heat, and the machinery required to transport objects through space and time. Physics is a science that deals with matter, energy, and the laws of nature. It operates on absolutes that behave in the same way each and every time. This science allows engineers to design and build aircraft. As aviation maintenance technicians, we must have a basic knowledge of physics and the laws that interact with the materials we worked with. In short, the laws of physics allow us to reliably predict the outcomes of any actions that we take in our capacity as aviation maintenance technicians. As mankind's understanding of physics has matured, the definition of matter has become more ambiguous. However, a definition of matter that will suit our purposes as aviation maintenance technicians is any substance that occupies space and has weight or mass. Or we can think of matter as that which is comprised of atoms and molecules. Matter cannot be destroyed, but it can be changed from one state into another state by chemical or physical means. After we burn a log in the fireplace, we are usually left with a small pile of ash containing only a small fraction of the mass of the original log. This might lead us to believe that most of the matter in the log was destroyed. However, if we were able to capture all of the escaped smoke and water vapor and weigh it along with the remaining ash, we would discover that we have a mass equal to the original log, but of a different chemical structure. An atom is the smallest particle of a chemical element that can exist either alone or in combination with other atoms. All solids, liquids, and gases are comprised of atoms. Every atom has a nucleus comprised of one or more protons, and usually a like number of neutrons. The nucleus contains over 99.9% of the mass of the atom. If an atom has more protons than electrons, it is said to be positively charged. If it has more electrons than protons, it is said to be negatively charged. Molecules are made up of two or more atoms and are the smallest particle that still has all the properties of the original substance. Atoms in a molecule share electrons in their valence shells, and it is this covalent bond that binds the atoms together. The atomic number of an element is the total number of protons within its nucleus, and is found at the top of the box for each element in the periodic table. The atomic mass is the total mass of all of the protons, neutrons, and electrons for each element. There are three states of matter we will be most concerned with as aviation maintenance technicians: solid, liquid, and gas. Generally, when sufficient heat has been added to a solid, it becomes a liquid, and the addition of sufficient heat to a liquid causes it to change into a gas. By definition, solids have a definite volume and a definite shape. Liquids, on the other hand, have a definite volume, but take the shape of the container which holds them. Gases have neither a definite shape or volume. They not only take the shape of the container holding them, they also expand to fill the vessel, no matter its size. We have already discussed how heat can affect the state of matter, but pressure can also bring about a change of state. For example, as the pressure acting upon a liquid is decreased beyond a certain point, the liquid will change into a gas. The properties and characteristics of matter that we are about to discuss include the volume, mass, force of attraction, weight, density, inertia, porosity, and impenetrability. Volume means to occupy three-dimensional space. Some common units of measurement for volume include cubic inches, cubic feet, cubic centimeters, liters, pints, and gallons. Mass is a measure of the quantity of matter in an object, or how many molecules are in an object. It does not change as the state of matter changes. We often interchange the terms mass and weight, and as long as we are only considering those objects in close proximity to the surface of the Earth and account for buoyancy forces in the atmosphere, this may not cause us a problem. But we should understand that an object's mass is not affected by a change in the gravitational forces acting upon it, even though its weight will change, as the illustration here shows. Every particle of matter imparts a gravitational or attractive force upon every other particle. This force of attraction is inversely proportional to the distance between the particles and directly proportional to their mass. Density is the mass or weight of a substance per unit volume. Units of measure are oftentimes pounds per cubic foot. Density, which is related to buoyancy, can be demonstrated in this sketch here. The cork being less dense than the rock in the water is buoyant and thus floats on top of the water. The rock, however, has a greater density than the cork in the water and therefore lays on the bottom of the container. One definition of inertia: it is the opposition a body offers to any change in motion. It follows Newton's first law. A body at rest remains at rest, and a body in motion continues to move at a constant speed along a straight line unless the body is acted upon by an external force. According to Newton's first law, if we were to throw a baseball while standing upon the surface of the Earth, the baseball would travel in a straight line at a constant velocity forever, as long as it was not acted upon by some outside force. What happens, however, is that the gravitational forces and the force of friction as the ball moves through the atmosphere will slow the ball and bring it to rest back upon the surface of the Earth. A porous material is one having pores or spaces where smaller particles may fit when a mixture takes place. A few aviation-related examples of porous materials are those contained in air, oil, and fuel filters, where the smaller particles of fuel, oil, and clean air may pass through, but the larger pieces of dust and dirt particles are trapped on the side from which the fluid is flowing. The characteristic of impenetrability tells us that no two objects can occupy the same space at the same time.